Well, my name is Leung, the head of Fintech and Financial Services at InvestHK. At the same time, I also co-lead the carbon neutrality team. If you were to sort of like simplify what we do, now number one, at InvestHK is being the investment promotion agency of the Hong Kong government. So our job, I'm talking about the colleagues overseas, they spend quite a lot of time to talking to different entrepreneurs from around the world, and then to help them to come into the Hong Kong market. Now, but of course, once these companies come to Hong Kong, before they decide to invest in hiring people, getting an office, developing new products and all that, they normally would need to talk to some local potential clients, talk to potential investors, potential partners before making that decision. So therefore, at InvestHK, the team that I'm responsible for, we have created a program called Global Fast Track. So let's just say they would like to offer some capabilities to the major banks in Hong Kong. Now, if they were to connect with the big banks like HSBC, Standard Chartered, using normal routes, like referrals and so on, that may take them, who knows, right? 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. But for us, since we know all these major decision makers related to fintech and Web3 and digital assets, I mean, it's basically literally just one phone call away, so that we are able to connect the entrepreneurs more directly with potential clients. And the same thing applies to connecting investors, to our partners and so on. Furthermore, and once the firms have already done a good job in expanding in the Hong Kong market, naturally they want to expand to other markets. So that could be North Asia, right, Korea, Japan. So then we also have resources both within the governments as well as in the private sector in those markets that we can introduce them to. So essentially, throughout the whole life cycle of running a business, chances are that at different points of time they need some help, and we are there to serve them. Well, Web3 Pre-Node, you can think of it as a pretty diverse ecosystem. So naturally, if I were to simplify it, there are at least, right, 3 different groups of key players. The first group are the entrepreneurs and the teams. The second group will be the investors, because naturally you need the investors to invest in them to basically get them going. Now, the third group, you can also argue, are the content providers, because sometimes when you think about Web3, the early adoption has been in the gaming space. Now, in gaming, naturally that involve a lot of the characters, so the IPs, right, intellectual property. Now, so when we look at all these 3 different key stakeholders, group of stakeholders, we feel that, again, for the past 6 to 9 months, we've been seeing quite a lot of entrepreneurs. They can be the infrastructure players, they can be the application layer entrepreneurs. They're also coming to Hong Kong. Now, and at the same time, we also see that there are also the VCs, right? So some of them are the Web3 funds. Some of them are not very huge, about 30 million US, but they're the large one like HKSAR, they just raised 600 million, okay? So there's a range of between 30 to 600 million. So we need that because we need them to fund Web3 companies. Now, the third group are the IPs. So personally, I traveled to Tokyo at the end of March this year, and we noticed there's just quite a good number of very amazing content owners that they're now working with, as a matter of fact, with some of the Hong Kong firms to help them to internationalize their IPs, particularly for the Web3 community. Now, so as all 3 groups congregate to Hong Kong, I mean, going back to the question about the challenges is to basically give them an environment so that we can get them to grow and so on. So therefore, now all 3 groups, for example, so one of the challenges is, okay, where do they get the talents, right? So in Hong Kong, we have been observing some major developments on the talent side. So naturally, last year has been a difficult year for a lot of countries, including the US and China. And interestingly, now in US, 250,000 tech talents have been laid off in the US. And in China, 700,000 tech talents were laid off in China last year alone. Now, but guess what? But now that Hong Kong becomes the Web3 hub, then because of the latest talents policy and talents schemes, we are now accepting a lot of applications of these talents to basically move to Hong Kong. So we are filling some of these gaps in terms of the talents. So a lot of really great tech engineers from China, they're now moving to Hong Kong to help us provide a supply of tech developers and so on to all these incoming Web3 projects. So we are filling that gap. Now at the same time, in Hong Kong, we have a number of very good universities that previously was not noticed by the tech firms in Web3. But thanks to CoinDesk, so CoinDesk is well known around the world for covering the Web3. They have published this study in which they looked at, they ranked all the blockchain universities. And last year, of the top 20, 4 Hong Kong universities were ranked in the top 20 of the best blockchain universities around the world by CoinDesk. And guess what? The PolyU University of Hong Kong, they were ranked #1 in the world. Now, but of course, a lot of the Web3 community, they didn't know about it. So that's a problem. So that's why we work very closely to provide the marketing and promotion so that the Web3 founders, the tech teams, they are now being able to connect with universities like PolyU so that they're able to tap into the blockchain talents at PolyU and other universities in Hong Kong.